Hi guys, welcome. Good morning. Greetings to you wherever you are. I hope everybody is doing well. So just an update, right, on what's been happening within the space of between yesterday and today. They brought out documents stating that there's a lady who owns the property and all of that. But you guys know that these people have the power of the government, so they can backdate anything and say anything, right? So, and then Lagos state government came out and has debunked, saying that they did not have anything to do with the demolition that took place on Peter Obi's brother's property. So the question now is, who did? Matter of fact, if you see the manner with which they even responded to that whole the Peter Obi's video, my goodness, let me see if I can pull it up and read it for you guys. It's quite shameful, oh, I no go lie to you now. Very embarrassing, to say the least. Very, very embarrassing. Yeah. Very embarrassing the way they responded to this whole thing. Shame catch me. A whole government institution for Nigeria. Person come out, say my property was demolished. The only thing when una fit talk for the matter na what's the big deal inside? Let me read it for you guys. So you're not hearing it from me directly. I'm trying to pull it up. Kai, Nigeria go shame you. No get how Nigeria no go take shame you. You go find way to embarrass you, to shame you. I say, wetin be this for goodness sake? What have we done to deserve this level of mediocrity in government? So if the Lagos state government did not approve of it, then who did? Does it mean that someone can just hire a demolition company and a construction company and say, hey, you go there, go and demolish this property because I'm the one that owns it? That's what they are trying to say now. That's exactly what that's the message they are trying to pass across. What manner of madness is this, for crying out loud? What kind of country is this? It does not make any sense to me at all. While I pull it up, listen to this video, guys.
As clearly, President of the Senate and my dear colleagues, Henry Siraki Dixon, Bayelsa West. As it has clearly been stated, even from this aisle, from this side, it is clear that no one in this chamber is opposed to an extension if it has become necessary so that the machinery of government continues to run and does not grind to a halt. But clearly, nobody is satisfied about the situation that we find ourselves in. Mr. President, I came this morning to have a conversation with the chairman of appropriation. I'm a member of that committee too. And also the chairman of finance. And if possible, to discuss this on the floor. I didn't know that this matter was slated for hearing. Because we are all inundated with complaints all over. Government has grounded, that's what it means. Contractors who have done their jobs, committed their resources, cannot be paid. The benefits of the budget that we all took time to work on and passed has not gotten to the people. And guess what? We are talking of the capital component. The recurrent component, which is for the bureaucrats, it has gotten to them 100%. 100%. The component that has not been released, that is still stagnant, nothing is moving forward, is the real one that goes to the people of Nigeria for development of our country, for all the people that we represent. So it's a very sad situation. You recall that some weeks back, there was a time that contractors, out of frustration and anger, I hear even stage demonstration. I read about it. A number of you on this floor may be familiar with that. So, Mr. President, the chairman of appropriation, unlike other motions and debates he has led, for which we have always supported, even from this side, in the interest of the country, today has not given compelling reasons why this extension has become necessary. And I don't want to hazard any guess. But from this aisle, you all know what is happening. Maybe there is too much preoccupation with politics and 2027. Maybe there is too much
Welcome for Life Esther.
Receiving defectors all across the country, and people are not looking at it. No, please. Mr. President, don't do it. You started very well, end very well. I have the floor. I have the floor. Because the business of for which we were all elected, all of us and the President of the Federal Republic, it's not moving forward. That is the reason this motion and this bill has become necessary. But like I said, from our experience, out of our commitment for the national good and for the development, we are not opposed in principle. to the extension, as the minority leader and my colleagues here have spoken. But I associate with the need to investigate. We need to. Our committees. Is it that we are not having enough money? We have withdrawn, all of us supported the withdrawal of fuel subsidy. Meaning that there's even more money. All the other levels of government are getting far more money. Some of us managed recessions for 6 years. Now they are getting so much money. The state governments and the local government, which is good. So that means that money or availability of money is not the challenge. The reason the capital component of the budget has not moved forward for the benefit of Nigerians is not because there's no money. So I agree with the suggestion that we should direct the committee, our committee, as a matter of fact, both committees, led by the appropriation committee, and perhaps the committee on finance as well, to jointly within the next 1 week undertake an inquiry and report back to us why this has happened, so that we don't have this happening again. I just thought to thank you very much for your contribution. I should say that in principle, thank you. Even though we are not happy where we are, things have gone into in the interest of the country. We need to pass this bill and allow the machinery of government to go on. But we need to investigate why we are here. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Having come to the end of the debate.
Omo. This guy is trying to have his voice heard. Senator Henry Seriake. Well, at least he's trying. He's speaking up. He's speaking up. Meanwhile, Kenyans, greetings, salute to all my Kenyan brothers and sisters. We see you. I support you. I'm rooting for you. And I'm sending you all the positivity. Now, let me read the statement too, from the official statement from the Lagos State Government. Clarification on demolition of property. The Lagos State Government is compelled to address the recent allegations made by Mr. Peter Obi regarding the demolition of a property belonging to his brother. First and foremost, Peter Obi did not make an allegation. See these people, they go just they wait. When Peter Obi talk something, they be like hyenas. They go just look for way, they go grab them so that they go fit twist them. Ah, God, I've never seen evil like this before. Let's go on. We wish to categorically state that the Lagos State Building Control Agency or any other arm of the Lagos State government did not carry out the said demolition. Dr. Olajide Abiodun Babatunde, Special Advisor EGIS and Urban Development, who supervises LASBCA, has confirmed that the agency was not involved in the demolition. Who now sent them? We find it disturbing that Mr. Peter Obi will make such allegations without verifying the fact. Who has the audacity to go and demolish a private property? Who has been demolishing property? Is it not the state government? These people are full of, and the disrespect of this of the content that they put out is alarming. The Lagos State government is committed to upholding the rule of law, that's a lie, and ensuring the safety and security of all residents. We will not tolerate any acts of lawlessness or violations of extant laws. Any individual or group found involved in such acts will be brought to justice. That's what you should do. We urge the public to disregard Mr. Peter Obi's claim. Can you imagine? And rest assured that the Lagos State government will continue to work tirelessly to maintain law and order in our great state. We will not be swayed by baseless allegations or attempts to discredit our efforts. God. Furthermore, we have directed the Permanent Secretary, Office of Urban Development, Architect Bolahon Owoduni Oki, to request a full investigation of the Lagos State Building Control Agency into this matter. This investigation will help clarify the circumstances surrounding the demolition and ensure that any necessary actions are taken. This is all that these people, this statement here that this is all they would have just said, instead of the disrespect. The rest of what they were saying is just noise. The Lagos state government welcomes everyone to live and work. That's a lie. Everybody knows that in the state, and we assure all residents of our continued commitment to their safety and well-being. Look at it. Very disrespectful response. All they would have said was, oh, we're going to look into this and we're going to investigate this and provide a report. Simple and short. No, because they want to drag the man. They want to find a way to ridicule him. They're trying to demoralize, and it's not working. It's not working. Shame on the Lagos state government, every one of them that was involved in that demolition. It will happen to each and every one of them with 100% accuracy, if not 200%. Now, as long as we're alive, we will witness it. We will witness it. God. Anyway, moving along. Now, have you guys heard that Wike has allocated 2,082 hectares of land worth 3.6 billion to his son Joachim in Maitama, Asokoro, and more. See the paper for here. See am. It na say na Joak Farms and Estates Limited, Wuse 2, Abuja. See am. He carried the property given to him pikin. This is what Nigeria has become. Hey, oh, Salobua. And every time you think Nigeria cannot go low, it keeps going lower and lower. Lower and lower. Salobua. Oh my God, what a joke. What a joke. My show. No, sorry. This video I wanted to pull up for you guys. The thing just they do one kind. Hold on. Everybody don't talk to Capone for the country. Everybody. Hey, see they try to twist her now. They say Fulani won't use Peter Obi take grab power from T-Pain. That's what they are flipping. That's how they are flipping it now. That's the latest. Oh, Salobua. Oh, Oswa, Nigeria. Make I wait. Make I pull them up. Muna no vessel. Okay.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Menaka Recorder. I am here again to provide solutions, credible, creative solutions on how we can clinically and speedily end the terrorist menace over the 8,809 electoral wars in Nigeria, especially with focus on the southeast of Nigeria, where I come from. It's estimated that in Nigeria we consume beef that is worth over 2.6 trillion naira every year. And it's very clear that the average beef consumption per person is about 24 to 30 kg. That is in a healthy country where everybody's eating healthy. But of course in Nigeria, it's very clear that over 197 million Nigerians even struggle to eat good protein, talk less of beef. Now, why are we in the 21st century still talking about, in 2025, still talking about open grazing? Still, federal government getting themselves involved. And
Young Afro, welcome. Exactly. The hate is massive. We are all aware. They are afraid of the man. They are afraid. 2027 is going to be a game changer. They should continue.
Does not have the highest population of cow heads in the whole of Africa. Nigeria is actually number 4. Sudan, Ethiopia, and one other country actually have more cow population than Nigeria. Argentina and Brazil. Brazil has over a cow population over.
Guys, please like the show. Please continue to double tap on the screen to like.
Destroyed. In Netherlands, they have with a very small arable landmass of 1.5 million hectares. They have cow population of just about 1.7 million cows, 1.6 million cows. But with this 1.6 million cows, they produce 12 billion liters of milk every year. They produce over 800,000 tons of cheese and other dairy products and beef. In fact, from that sector alone, value chain, they generate over 24 billion euros annually. Nigeria, with cow population of 19.5 million estimated, all we hear is death, military communities being sacked. And we know that this is some of these things that the people hide under these pretenses to perpetrate evil. And you know the most unfortunate thing? Most of these cows that these nomadic herdsmen pursue about are owned by very wealthy individuals that can actually ranch. In the Southeast, it is alleged that over 90% of cows that roam around are owned by top politicians and big men who refuse to ranch it, but will go to the far north, as far as even Chad and Niger, to recruit, very poorly educated human beings to be carrying the cows around, which is very wicked. So what do we do? Now I want to provide solutions. Before the amalgamation of Nigeria, Ndibo, we used to have our own brand of cow known as Efigbo. And this Efigbo is actually genetically linked to the Frisian species, the hostess species that we see in Netherlands. They look alike, very sturdy, very short, and very, very productive when it comes to milk production. Now, since it's already stated based on empirical research outside Lagos,
Akanu Ibiam, I don't know where you got that information from, but let me correct your ignorance. The buildings that Peter Obi demolished in Anambra State were dens for kidnappers, ritualists, and all manner of evil that was happening in the state. That was why the buildings had to go down. So before you run into somebody's comments and be making very ignorant comments, right? Go and do your research. Because this is how you people hang your common sense outside and rush into people's comment section to be making dumb comments. The property is not his own. It's his brother's own. What goes around comes around. Look at you talking. What goes around comes around. Everybody, everything that happened to this man, that continues to happen to him because he wants the betterment of Nigeria, because you people are suffering from Stockholm syndrome. When you see someone who has a solution that wants to help you out, no, you want to remain in your chains. So you buy whatever lies, you do whatever you need, you wriggle and keep yourself trapped in those chains because you do not want to be set free. Don't come here with ignorance. Do you understand me? Welcome, CKP. I'm doing good. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Nigeria, where you consume a lot of beef, is in the Southeast because, of course, you know our culture. Somebody's.
So he should keep the properties standing so that they can keep kidnapping and unaliving people. They can keep using people for rituals. He should leave the buildings up. Nonsense.
Being burying his mother or her father or anything. People are slaughtering cows, naming ceremony. So, since we consume it, common sense is that we can actually produce it. There's nothing. Our forefathers produced cow. But because we have limited land mass, 2.8 million hectares, I have provided solutions on how, when there is a supply gap and the supply gap is mitigated, people will not exploit it or exploit it to commit criminality. I've been in talks over the last 10 years with some of the biggest ranchers in the whole world. In fact, actually, the third biggest rancher in Nigeria is an Igbo man.
Guys, double tap the screen to like, or double tap, or click on the three dots to like the show.
Uses leathers and tanneries that he exports to other parts of the world. In fact, he's one of Winston Leathers. He produced pure, beautiful leather bags. I remember then in 2019, 2020 or 2019, I can't remember. I approached the governor of Imo State on how we can work together to set up agro-pastoral clusters in each of the local government area of the state. We have 27 states in the state, 27 local government in the state, and 95 local government area in the southeast, in the whole of the southeast. Now, let me tell you the dynamics. We had a discussion with one of the biggest ranchers in Israel, Elsmed. They have massive number of cows in Israel, in the desert of kibbutz, air-conditioned ranches. Their cows are so well taken care of that they produce over 100, over 60 liters of milk a day, unlike even the Netherlands species that does about 20 liters a day. They have species that do 60 liters a day of milk. And we had a very clear understanding on how we can drive this process under what we call the missions, community diaspora, public partner arrangement, in such a way that it will be an all-inclusive stakeholders engagement. The communities will own it, so that it doesn't matter if you're going to take their land for Uruga or to take their land and sell to people who will come and dominate them. The arrangement was that in every local government area, we will map out an agro-industrial area. These are things Michael Obi did between 1959 to 1966. In 7 years, that great man developed over 214 kilometer agro-industrial belt. Ubudu cattle ranch was built by Michael Obi, who came up with a very beautiful idea. PPP, government is not going to provide any cover. All the government will do is to working with the communities. The communities will provide their land. They're not dashing their land to anybody. An SPV, special purpose investment vehicle, will be established in every local government area based on the community, donor communities. They will donate their land. Their land will be valued, surveyed and valued, and monetary value attached to it, and it will be their investment in the SPV, with also a provision that everybody that must work there, 99% of people that work there, apart from the technical staff, will be from those communities. In each cluster, we have at least 300 agro rangers, fully trained and fully equipped and fully armed. In nursing, we provide the armored personnel carriers and all the armored trucks and motorcycles. We will train them, we equip them. Agro rangers, 300 in every local government area. Close your eyes and imagine if you have 3 or 2 armored personnel carriers in every local government area, and we have civilian agro rangers under the command of national security. But national security has actually have the power to approve the use of different kind of firearms under the command of national security. Type of that command, national security advisor, the governor of the state, and then the central commander who will be managing these agro rangers. Their salaries will be well remunerated from proceeds from the agro park. Each of these agro park will have at least 3,000 cows, 2,700 milk cows, and 300 bulls. The 2,000 hectares of land, what we will do there, just we intercrop it. We will plant maize, legumes, veggies, and other things there. 1,500 hectares of maize, cultivated maize, can be done in 150 days, fully irrigated. The work of local government chairman under the governor is to provide the rural road, provide the water utilities and the solar power that will power that place. Of course, it's not free of charge. They will value it transparently. It's not a case of where they'll come and do a fence with 200,000. They'll say it is 20 billion. We will value it under that SPV. That will be the investment of the local government, which is, of course, will yield dividends to them. Then the private sector investor, the group I lead, Sefapco, G National Ranch, and the Israelis, will bring in all the investment, bring in the Frisian and the hostel species of the cow, do the making parlor and every technical equipment, the mechanized equipment, irrigation that will be used in those places. Let me tell you, we've done the numbers. It will cost $6 million to set up each of these clusters. $570 million. We can easily structure the arrangement under what we call the missions, diaspora, community diaspora, public partner. I was privileged as the head of investment banking in one of the deposit money banks in the late 2000. I worked with a lot of Nigerians in diaspora, Nidoa Europe, Nidoa South Africa, Nidoa America, and I can tell you for sure, if we put a transparent investment vehicle to drive this, our diasporas will invest heavily on it. We will list it on the floor of the exchange. Now let me tell you what will happen. The clusters, each of these clusters will cost $6 million. But you know what will shock you? The revenue from each of these clusters will be about $42 million from each clusters. Each clusters will provide over 1,500 direct jobs, over 10,000 indirect jobs. well-paying jobs. Close your eyes and imagine if in every local government area we have 5,000 indirect jobs and 1,500 to 2,000 direct jobs. The kind of economic impact that will happen. A collective investment of $570 million will unlock over $3.9 billion from the southeast every year. Check the FAC and Jack of every and the IGR of the 5 states in Nigeria. No, it's not 1 billion combined. We're talking about just from one agro-industrial, from 95 agro-industrial parks. At least we'll be able to provide 285 cows every year in that southeast. We'll be able to do about 2.135 billion liters of milk. We will do about 137 million, thousand tons of cheese. We'll do yogurt. There are a lot of other byproducts. And now, when we do it, when we have provided supply gap alternative, we will ban open grazing and use agro rangers to enforce it. So, and all the big men who own cows and who have been using it to torment the people will now be forced to ranch because you have no other alternative. Either you bring and come and co-locate and invest in the SPV, or you set up your own. It's a fully competitive market. So this thing I've shared now, does it not make sense? And for the governors, northern governors, I've also showed them how they can earmark 6 million hectares in the north across 2,500 agro-industrial cluster parks. The same procedure that will enable them to generate agro-rangers that will destroy Boko Haram, Bandit, ISWAP, and all the rest of them. And then will generate almost $109 billion annually from the north. The same thing can happen in every of the regions. What this government is doing, prosecuting, the 11 states have committed to provide land for open grazing. It's madness. You see, it's very unfortunate that across the 3 tiers and arms of government, we have very lazy, incompetent, satanically wicked men and women who are not ready to apply rigor, task their brain, to roll their sleeves and engage in very productive activities that require brain power, that will add value to each and every one of us in this country. What I have shared with you here, if done across the 6 regions, we'll get over 20 to 40 million jobs. Will inject over $250 billion into this economy annually, scientifically, from the upstream to the processing, to the storage, to the distribution. Nigeria will become a mega hub. We will know all those criminals from Fouta Jalon, those criminals from Senegal, from Mali, masquerading as S-men and killing and raping women and destroying their communities. We fizzle away. There is no poor man that owns a cow. Most of these cows, you see, and you know the most unfortunate thing, some of your traditional rulers in the southeast, some of your politicians are the owners of those cows.
Exactly.
They will collect communal land and they will give to orchards. Then those orchards, criminals will hide under them. Because the real herdsmen are not criminals. But of course, when you provide a cover, because most mechanics are dead, you don't even know who is a madman. So, but to stop this, nobody's against herdsmen or headers. But we are saying it will provide, when you have such a very beautiful arrangement.
At Les Schwab, our above and beyond service means
I beg Nigerian leaders.
More hustle, less hassle.
Claritin Liquid provides powerful all-day allergy relief in an instantly soothing liquid. Live Claritin Clear.
Arrangement. Those agro-parks can even employ those herdsmen if they want to employ them, those who have knowledge.
Akanu, Nigeria will first happen to you, your generation, and everybody else coming after and in front and behind you. Trust and believe that. You see these words you type? They are already happening in your family. Go and check. Mark my words. Exactly, CKP. Exactly. And you have a mental health cases like Akanu coming here to come and drop his ignorance, come and show his ignorance for everybody, for the world to see. Nigeria is already happening in your family. You don't know. Go and check.
And engage them, give them uniform, biometrically capture them, give them ID card, so that they work in a very, that it will even affect their health. They will have good welfare conditions, everything, health insurance, life pensions, everything.
I pray, please make this go viral. Share it. If any governor or local government chairman or legislator is sincere about saving this country and bringing about productivity, you can contact us. I am the chairman of SEFAPCO, Southeast Farms and Agricultural Processing Company Limited, and Bazaar Agricultural Services. You can reach me on WhatsApp 09090900989, 09090900989, mobile 0813 444-1140. Or you can reach me on email, sefapcol@gmail.com, sefapcol@gmail.com. It breaks my heart that we know what to do in this country to build an all-inclusive wealth and prosperity for the people. The federal government of Nigeria and the states are only applying politically correct elixirs and opiates. We need to provide panaceas that heals. We need to provide permanent solution. What I have shared with you, we've developed the template. We have the working papers. We have developed the structured design, strategic work plan. We've done the numbers. We will help them. See, I will do it pro bono. Let it be my sacrificial Joseph's contribution to the development of this country. And for those of you who I'm not going to take appointment with the APC government. That is very clear. I'm not taking appointment with the APC government. I don't need for this appointment.
That's all they like.
Evil things.
Rob people,
It
spy
even gives
people.
me that
That's all.
independence of mind to do it without anybody trying to
Continuation in
manipulate me. And that is how it works.
They want
Because
to remain
whoever
in
you
their
decide
criminality.
to subordinate yourself will control you. And that is the truth. No matter how you think that you are smart. So we must do the right things. We are willing to help. We are willing to support. May God help us in Jesus' name. Please make this go viral. Tell President Tinubu and the federal government they should stop wasting their time asking for states to donate land for open grazing. In fact, if they are sincere, they should start the process. We can put a 1-year plan. In next 1 year, we will put in place all the structures that have been initiated here and ban open grazing. So anybody who will see grazing openly is just nothing but a bandit and a criminal, and we'll deal with it. Of course, when you have agro rangers in each of 300 agro rangers in each of the 774 local government areas, helping the police and army fully equipped with Kenkoso dogs and drones and AK-47. Where is the bandit? Where is the Boko Haram? Where is the ISWAP? Where is the non-government in the southeast that will be tormenting people's life? The truth is that we know what to do. The governor of Zamfara State, Dauda, stated it clearly that they know where the bandits are. The local people know where they are. They even buy them, supply things to them. If there is a political will from the federal government and the state governments working together and local government, we can destroy insecurity in Nigeria within 6 months. How many are they? God have mercy on us.
Have you been on SSDI?
Already provided all we need. Now we go use our brain.
Pay attention if you want free groceries for the rest of the year. There is a new benefit for American seniors called the health.
An army officer's bike.
Yes.
An army officer's bike.
Yes.
To conduct an operation.
Yes, right? You know,
To kill
these are the things that we face every day. So Suleiman right now, we're asking army authorities where is Suleiman because they took him to Mogodi and we've not heard about him again. But Suleiman in Uday, what headquarters of Niev Council Ward of Kuma, local government of Benue State, 2 weeks before the water attacks of June 13 and 14, there are many TB villages in my council ward, in my local government, that people fled and left. Fulanis out behind them.
For life, Esther, Peter Obi should leave Nigeria. Peter Obi is already determined to stay and see Nigeria work. You know, he said it in his speeches. He's not going anywhere. Running away is not the solution. Running away is not the solution. The problem persists if we, all of us, don't do anything. So running away is not, because everywhere you go, you're going to carry it with you. Look at me. I'm talking about it morning and night. You cannot escape it. We either get together. Me, I'm against protest now, safe. Me, I don't even want. Let nobody come out and protest, because if anything happens now, Peter Obi needed a quick call. Okay? Look at what Kenyans are doing. There's nobody that is leading Kenyans. No one is coming out to lead Kenyans. Not one. They are moving themselves. Look at sea of people. You understand? It's okay. Let everybody wait. Let them wait till 2027. Let everybody conserve their energy. Because Peter Obi sees what we cannot see. He is experiencing things that we don't even, if he tells us what he's experiencing, we will open our mouth. So that man has inside information that we do not have. So sometimes when he takes the path of peace, there's a reason why. He's not stupid. This whole idea, oh, Peter Obi, I beg. The man, he has already made up his mind. He wants to see Nigeria work. When somebody is on a mission, you don't tell them, oh, go and rest first. No. Until he accomplishes what he's here to do, right? He's not going to leave. Right? And with regards to the guy that said what he said, it is him it is happening to. Don't you see his mindset? Nigeria has already happened to Akanu. You don't understand? You don't see the way they think. It's already happening to him. It has done a number on his mental. It has done a member on in his head. So that's how he thinks. He is comfortable in his chains. He and his generation and his lineage, they are comfortable in their chains. They don't want to leave. They don't want to be, they don't want those chains to be taken away from them. Do you understand? They are comfortable with criminality. They like criminality. Somebody like Akanu is probably one of the people that were into criminal activities. Do you understand? So it is paining them now that they cannot continue to carry out those criminal activities. So it is out of pain and frustration that he's making this comment. Whatever he's saying is going back on his head. You understand? So they have returned it to him and his lineage. Nigeria has already happened. Nigeria is not happening to me. It will never happen to me. Never. Not to me. Not to anybody that's close to me in any way, shape, or form. So he's here to expose his ignorance and his pain. And to carry his cross by himself with his head. It's simple. They knack gum too much for people like that. This is the first time I've seen show heavy emotion. Exactly. I bet he feels guilty thinking that his brother was targeted because of him. Yeah, exactly. You understand? Exactly. But you know what? It's all right. Whatever was lost will be gained 100 times more. That's just the truth. Whatever was lost will be gained. This man has done nothing. The creation sees his hands. When your hands are clean, your heart is clean, your intentions and your motives are pure, the universe works for you. It's okay. You see these things that are happening to Peter Obi, he's going to come up on top. You want to mark my words? He will come on top. It's okay. Let them continue. Look at the disrespectful memo that the Lagos state government put out. Disrespectful. It's okay. We are here. We're all witnessing it in real time. Yeah, for life, Esther, that's the problem. If we can put ethnicity, tribe, religion aside, our problem, we look at Kenyans. Kenyans have officially conquered tribalism. All of them carrying each other on their backs. One drops, they carry on. They don't leave anybody behind. Kenyans, they don't leave anybody behind. This is what it means. The average Nigeria as it is now does not deserve a man like Peter Obi. But it's not about deserving. It's about what impact are you leaving for your country, for your nation, for your community. If Peter Obi was paying attention to the behaviors and the attitudes of people, he would give up. He would throw his hands up in the air. Your purpose is bigger than how people see you, feel about you, or think about you. Peter Obi is focused. It's not about how somebody feels, whether you feel good about it, it doesn't concern the man. He's been prepared for this. All we need to do now is to support him. You may think that, he's not, Nigerians don't. Yes, we don't. But it's not about deserving. It's about his purpose. It's about what he wants to do, what he was born to do. You cannot take it away from him.
even in my maternal village.
Guys,
people cannot
please
go there.
continue to like the life.
If you go
You
with
understand?
hell now. If you go with hell,
Because you are not going with arms now, so they will take you up, they will take you before you reach there.
When he was in the Agwe in Benue, now the Babes in a tube in Nasarawa. So, Situma him to a hand in Bagwe back. So, my Yemen attack him by Nahams and Resamble, and you run a foul him by.
Hi, Mr. Wonderful here. When I choose to invest in a company, it's because I see the potential for growth.
Resamble, and you run a foul him by. The tomato or we saw you couple will happen in
this particular voice note was circulated 5 days before the water attack. What did you guys do about it?
You know, they kept the military in Yerwatana. Why would Nigeria be IDPs in their own countries? In their own country, rather.
They have houses, but they cannot return to their houses.
They cannot.
Because it's been occupied by someone else.
Because we don't have a government. What we have are people in power. But we don't have a government. Fulani militia. It's not any profiling. It's a statement of fact. Tell the Fulani nation, if they don't want this, if they don't want us calling, why have they never called a meeting of the Fulani nation to say, look guys, you guys are making Nigeria stigmatize us. Stop this thing. They would never call that kind of meeting. Have you ever seen them call the meeting? If it was Fulani a thief that this is happening to now, so thief will call the meeting. That's the umbrella body of thief people. They will call and say, look at what is happening. People are stigmatizing us. People are giving us bad names. Stop this thing. The Fulani as a nation has never called a meeting of their people to say, look, you guys have done too much in this place. We want it to stop. You guys are our bad eggs.
Are you saying that they're not arresting them because they just don't want to arrest them?
They took them to the divisional police headquarters in Bajimba, that's the headquarters of Guma local government. The following day, a directive came to the DPU to release these guys. They even sent vehicle to go and convey them from that station. Why do you think that our people don't sleep in their homes? That I tell you that people sleep on the road median because of these attacks. Every time, they understand. There are a lot of peaceful Muslims in Nigeria, as well as there are a lot of extremist Muslims in Nigeria. Those are the section of Muslims that feel that, yes, they must dip the Quran in the ocean, because that is the promises of their forebearers. They've said the jihad is a continuous process that hasn't stopped.
Where have you heard them say this? What's the evidence?
This is over and over now. Precious, this is not something hidden. For them, it's a jihad against the infidels. Infidels is what they call the Christians, for goodness sake, unbelievers. The only part, of course, the Fulanization part, to be inviting their other Fulani kinsmen from other countries in the Sahel to come. There's a lush green land in the Benue Valley. They want a total takeover of the land. They capture the Hausa lands because they are all over. There are few in Hausa land, but they are the ones who are dominant. All the emirs of Fulani, you see a population, a town in Hausa land that is like made up of 80% Hausa people, 90% Hausa people. But the emir of that town and the most prominent people in that town are Fulanis. And that's what's happening all across Katsina, Zamfara, Sokoto, Kanu, Jigawa. You don't know why you're looking at it in bewilderment. That is what's happening. Many of these places, the Fulanis are only the emirs. Even in Lorin, you know, is Yoruba. It's in Yoruba. But the Fulanis are the emirs now. The traditional ruler of Ilorin is emir now, emir of Ilorin. That's Amir. Amir, that's the Fulani title, you know, for somebody in Yoruba, because they captured the place during jihad. And that is what they want to do. They constitute the establishment. They are the one who constitute the establishment in Nigeria. Ribadu is a Fulani guy. He's the National Security Advisor. The Minister of Defense, Badaru, is Fulani. These are the top echelon of Nigerian security architecture. The National Security Advisor and the Minister of Defense. Even the Chief of Defense Staff is not up to them, because these are the ones that bring the president every time. And that's why they skewed the narrative that the president is talking about, hey, we should share our land with their neighbors, we should, you understand? Because they are the people who briefed it. They are Fulani, and you will never, ever hear everybody describe the killing in Benue as a terrorist attack or Fulani attack. He has always been describing it as farmer headers. Last month, when APC were having their 2 years summit, the Tinubu's administration 2 years summit, when ministers were giving their reports, if you watch, go to YouTube, you'll see it now. When everybody came out to give the security report, he was speaking with so much energy when he was talking about what they are doing in Borno. Boko Haram, they are taking on this, they are taking on that. Then when he came to Benue, then he realized, they say, and you know the farmer header crisis in Benue. I said, no, mister, we don't have something like that. He said, the farmer header crisis in Benue, we're trying to solve it. We've done so much about that. The conflict, then you know, I match all this. Then the next thing is called the conflict. The conflict in Benue has been reduced to a marginal level. Then all of a sudden, the tempo increased when it was to talk of IPOP. Let's say in the southeast, we decimated IPOP. We've run out their camps, we bombarded their camps, we've taken. Go and watch that video.
Boko Haram, ISWAP, the Jihadists, banditry and kidnapping in the northwest, separatist agitations in the southeast, Niger Delta, and communal conflicts, including harder farmer clashes, especially in the north central. In Benue and Plateau states before May 2023, violent conflicts caused thousands of deaths, over 5,000 in Benue alone.
It has become normal now in many of these villages in Nasarawa to see Fulanis with their AK-47 passing on bike. It has become normal.
I don't understand. No, they're going to calm down. When did they drop this thing?
Romans 8:28 reminds us that God works for the good of those who love him. You may be feeling stuck or uncertain.
AK-47 passing on bike. It has become normal.
I don't understand. No, they're going to calm down. When did they drop this thing? Barrister Frank Uto, him, na lawyer, and him be citizen of Benue State. As a matter of fact, in village Congo, na Yelewata, and he won't come tell us some kind things that we visiting happen for inside the village. So, it's exactly 8 days after the incident now. How your village did?
It can better be imagined than explained. You know, a very small village where about 200 people and more were killed. You know, you can just imagine what's happened. And even though I'm in the United States right now, thousands of kilometers away, I've been feeling the reverberating effects of what happened. I really want to assure you that in the last 5 days, I've not slept up to accumulatively up to 10 hours in the last 5 days. I've been losing sleep because I know like over 80 people amongst the guys killed. You know, I have a direct relationship with them. Many of my family relations. These guys are harmless. Some of the most gentle men you could find anywhere. All they are concerned with was just living their life in their village, going to their farm, coming, eating, and then going to play in the evening. That's all. They pay their taxes because you could see their farmers on anytime they're transporting goods to the town, they pay tax. The water is placed on the highway. That's the place that Tinubu could not go. Federal highway that is dualized. There is just 25 minutes drive from Mokoti.
But you know, say it rained that day and flood been worried that day for inside the
There was no flood. No, there was no flood. Where there was flood was like 30 kilometers after Yerwata on the way to Lafia.
Wow.
That place is called Akeleku.
Siam.
Akeleku. So that road,
Hi,
there was a slope.
Williams.
You know,
How are you?
Those guys who built the road really did not take care of that situation very well because there's a slope there and then a street there. So when it rained heavily, you find water on the road. You know? So that was the Akeleku in Nasarawa State, not in Yerota. You know, Yerota is just 8 kilometers from Makodi. It's just 25 minutes drive. There was no flood. When people are traumatized, they are devastated, they are scattered all around Makodi, and they've not been catered for adequately. I will tell you that they've been sleeping on bare floors. For the first few days, they were in that primary school, mosquitoes all over, there was no water, there was no toilet.
So because the houses were burned, so they don't have anywhere to stay right now.
Yeah, so they were camped at the international market in Makodi, built by Governor Suswam. It has not been used yet. So they are using that place as a temporary IDP camp right now.
Last warning. If you don't get your $25,000 final expense benefit this week, you risk...
Place as a temporary IDP camp right now. So there's no water there. But although I just heard yesterday that they've started bringing water in tanks. And in the initial days, there was no food. As a matter of fact, the food that passed eventually they carted it away. Sort of. They stole those.
I hear that food, yes.
Yeah, they stole those bags of rice. And many of them went there with bruises, with sores on their body. There was no treatment. I learned that today they called me to say they've started attending to them. They've started sending some medical personnel to attend to them. Although the ones who were bruised very well, who had fracture and burns, were taken to the teaching hospital. they have been attended to very well. I can attest to that now. So that's the condition of the people from Yorota. But few of our guys are still in the village because they've reinforced the security detachment in the village. So the Mopol who came, they've been distributed into some of the flashpoints in the bush. But the question is, for how long will they stay there? Because it's usually like that. After about 3 days, 4 days, they will certainly leave. So they've also added the soldiers because, like I told you, on that day when the attack happened, the soldiers in Yerota were just 4. They were just 4. So they were just where they were at the primary school. They did not move out of the primary school when these attackers were burning the market, burning people in their houses. So they were there at primary. But on the other hand, one could also commend them for stationing, for being at the primary school there, because in about 4 or 5 classrooms, people filled up about 4 or 5 classrooms, because the primary school is together with is annexed to the church, the Catholic Church, St. Joseph.
That means they have killed people in that primary school too if they didn't.
If they had reached that place, people have been talking of thousands now. People have been talking like the number that happened on 911. You understand? Yeah. Whoa. Because we are IDPs even in Yerota there. We are IDPs. We don't sleep in our houses. So on the day of the attack, let me even tell you something that nobody has said this all this while. On the day of the attack, right? You see, we have a dual carriageway.
That's what you said.
The road. Okay. So yes. So on the median of the road, the median that divided this lane and that lane, people do sleep on the median of the road for fear of attack if they sleep in their homes. So if
they rather sleep for express road.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because it's you understand. They prefer that because it's an open place. So the highway, at least light will be flashing every now and then, light of oncoming vehicles.
So they feel safer to sleep at the middle of the expressway.
That is the paradox.
In their houses.
That is the paradox of what is happening in my town, in my village. They feel safer sleeping on the median of the federal highway. So that day they were there. Because that day there was the news that those guys are coming. So they were there. But unfortunately for us, and then fortunately for those terrorists, it started to rain. That's why many of these guys now went back to their homes. And yes, it started to rain. Yeah, heavy rain. It started to rain. That's why many of them went back, and then many of them were in those stores that you saw the pictures that were burnt. So that was what happened. So those people are traumatized right now. People are burying their dead today. My cousin, his remains was just interred today. That's the guy who was APC's agent in the last election. Yeah, they just buried him today. So a lot of people are burying their loved ones. Some are just burying the bones that they packed, because skulls. Bones
and skulls. Would they even know whose bone is whose bone? Or they just pack bones together to
it's symbolic. It's symbolic. You just give it a burial. It's symbolic. You understand? You know that these guys, they slept in this room. They slept in this place. So they are born beyond.
This bone is a person's bone.
Exactly. So if it's a child, you know that, okay, we have a child who slept here. So you could see that this guy who was born here is a child. This one is a woman. So you assume. So it's quite, just to give them a symbolic burial, sort of. So, it's a day that has gone into infamy as the day that the murderous Fulani guys invaded our town, our little village, our very peaceful village, and took off almost 10% of the population. And I just pray that the chief of army staff and the chief of defense staff will be different from what has been happening in the past. I just hope they'll be very different, because we've had these promises over and over and over again in the course of the years, and nothing has happened.
Hello, my name is Adam Ferrari, the Chief Executive Officer of Phoenix Energy. I look forward to
again in the course of the years, and nothing has happened. No single people come in their hundreds and carry out this kind of attack, killing hundreds, and then no single person will be arrested. That's we who are mere civilians even know these guys. One of the survivors, because they burned the room that is next to his, he struggled to escape through the window and took off, before they could shoot at him. So one of the survivors said, when they came, so one of the guys was telling his fellow criminals, his fellow terrorists that, look, we should break this door, because in this door, if we break this door, we get a lot of phones, because that is where people charge their phones. You know, in the village, there's no light. So there's a central place where people do charge their phones. They take phones to somebody.
Wait, you guys don't have electricity in your village?
There's no electricity there, so the federal highway.
A village that is in the federal highway.
No electricity. A village that is just 48 kilometers from the capital. We're in the middle between Makodi and Lafia. Because we are 48 kilometers from Yerwata and then 50 kilometers to Lafia. So we're in the middle. So there's no electricity. I took the borehole to that town. I was one who drilled the borehole in the town. I placed it at the...
So if that didn't happen, they won't have access to water?
There's no water now. We just have one functional borehole, you know. And then, although the governor, when he went there last week, he promised that he's going to drill 4 boreholes. So you could see it was this tragedy that is now attracting some things to the town. It's unfortunate for me anyway. So, but the governor promised that he's gonna drill 3 boreholes. But there's no electricity. There's no hospital because the dispensary that is there just have 4 dilapidated beds. 4 beds without even mattresses.
Welcome, Michael.
There's no
Thank
hospital.
you.
There's no. The only government presence in that place is the province. So that's the only government. Meanwhile, the market in Yerwata is the biggest in Guma in terms of revenue. They don't come to market every time. So we don't attack them. You see instances where we don't attack them. They come to our villages every time. They come to the market every time to sell and to buy. So they know the place. They must not necessarily use a mall. Some people will think that, okay, because they know this location, maybe there is an insider from the village. There must not necessarily be an insider because these people know the place in and out. Because they do come. We do say, a team and we see a full animal in the bush. We won't even touch you. Despite this killing. Okay, so we have a certain section. I don't want to generalize it because even me sitting here, my mom is a Muslim. You know, she's right now a practicing Muslim, yeah. So there are a lot of peaceful Muslims in Nigeria, as well as there are a lot of extremist Muslims in Nigeria. Those are the section of Muslims that feel that, yes, they must dip the Quran in the ocean because that is the promises of their forebearers. They've said the jihad is a continuous process. The jihad hasn't stopped.
Where have you heard them say this? What's the evidence?
This is over and over now. Precious, this is not something hidden. It's over and over and over again. And so that is why amongst the Fulanis, anytime they come for attack, there are a lot of the Alagos. Alagos are Alago people that's of National State. They are in Obi, Kiana local government and Doma local government. Many of them Muslims. So the Muslims, they join them. So those were the ones that carry out, for them, it's a jihad against the infidels. Just part of it. That they are carrying out a jihad against the infidels. Against the infidels is what they call the Christians, for goodness sake, unbelievers. So the enemy part, of course, is the colonization part. That they want that land. They've been inviting their other Fulani kinsmen from other countries in the Sahel to come. There's a lush green land in the Benue Valley. They want a total takeover of the land. And of course, the Jihadists made their water loop in Benue State in 1804 when they staged the jihad, when Danfodio staged that jihad. They couldn't penetrate Benue. And stories had it that he was killed in Benue. So they couldn't penetrate. So it's a continuation of what Danfodio brought to Nigeria from Futajalo when his father left Guinea, Futajalo, to come to Nigeria. And then they captured the Hausa lands because they are all over. There are few in Hausa land, but they are the ones who are dominant. All the emirs are Fulani. You see a population, a town in Hausa land that is like made up of 80% Hausa people, 90% Hausa people. But the emir of that town and the most prominent people in that town are Fulanis. And that's what's happening all across Katsina, Zamfara, Sokoto, Kanu, Jigawa. You don't know why you're looking at it in bewilderment. That is what's happening. Many of these places, the Fulanis are only the emirs, but even Ilorin, you know, is Yoruba. Is Yoruba? But the Fulanis are the emirs now. The traditional ruler of Ilorin is emir now, emir of Ilorin. That's Amir. That's the Fulani title. For somebody Yoruba, because they captured the place during jihad.
Have you been on SSDI for at least 24 months? You're going to want to listen carefully to this. Those...
For somebody Yoruba, because they captured the place during jihad. So that is what's happening. That is what they want to do in our place. They forgot that this generation is not like that generation of about 200 years where people will just be in their villages. Then you just appear in camels and horses wielding swords and cutting everybody's neck, and a lot of people will run and then leave you with the town. Then you impose your flag. It will never happen. So that is why even now all the attempts, you are just killing innocent souls. But you will never get that land. It will never belong to you.
Exactly.
Because this is a new generation.
Exactly.
Who know that they cannot fight us. So they use their, they constitute the establishment. They are the one who constitute the establishment in Nigeria. Because today, the National Security Advisor, just like the guy was saying, the president of the Middle Bells, the stuff I just watched before now, the video.
Yes, man. Yeah.
Yes. So, Ribadu is a Fulani guy. He's the National Security Advisor. The Minister of Defense, Badaru, is Fulani. So these are the people in charge.
However, he got it wrong with the Minister. He got it wrong with the Chief of Defense Staff, because Chief of Defense Staff is.
No, that one is Southern Kaduna.
Yes,
it's Southern Kaduna. So I didn't call because I know what I'm saying. So these are the top echelon of Nigerian security architecture. The National Security Advisor and the Minister of Defense. Even the Chief of Defense Staff is not up to them, because these are the ones that brief the president every time. And that's why they skewed the narrative that the president is talking about. Hey, we should share our land with their neighbors. We should, you understand? Because they are the people who briefed it. They are Fulani, and you will never ever hear Ribadu describe the killing in Benue as a terrorist attack or Fulani attack. He has always been describing it as farmer headers. Last month, when APs were having their 2 years summit, the Tinubu's administration 2 years summit, when ministers were giving their reports, if you watch, go to YouTube, you'll see it now. When Ribadu came out to give the security report, he was speaking with so much energy when he was talking about what they are doing in Borno. Boko Haram, they are taking on this, they are taking on that. Then when he came to Benue, then he realized, he said, and the farmer header crisis in Benue. I said, no, mister, we don't have something like that. He said, the farmer header crisis in Benue, we're trying to solve it. We've done so much about that. The conflict, then I marked all these things. Then the next thing is all the conflict. The conflict in Benue has been reduced to a marginal level. Then all of a sudden, the tempo increased when it was to talk of IPOP. Your Excellency, in the southeast, we've decimated IPOP. We've run out their camps, we bombarded their camps, we've taken. Go and watch that video. You see that when he was talking about Boko Haram, the tempo was high. When he now was talking about Benue, then the tempo deflated. It's the farmer header crisis in Benue.
And so, are you accusing the National Security Advisor of
what we are saying is that
it's a collective agenda. He knows exactly what's happening in Benue State. And
why not? Because why are they taking the terrorist attacks in Benue separately?
Girl, be careful with this pink salt trick. My friends swear I had lipo after I lost over 25 pounds.
Because why are they taking the terrorist attacks in Benue separately? Have you ever heard any of them call for the arrest? What they do is that they try to mask it. They will say, we condemn it. When we say, the last time Sultan did not say anything about it, then they brought out a press release from Jamaatul Nasr Islam that Sultan was the head.
Northern Elders responded to you.
They say
that they condemn it too.
Okay, so condemnation is different from calling for the arrest and prosecution of those. That is how it should be. So when you say, no, we condemn the killing in Benue and we console the people of Benue, my sister, that's just cosmetic. It's just like you went to Nigerian University, right? You see campus cultists in the university. Are they not the same people who organize anti-cult protests? Do you understand? They organize symposium. They go into student union leadership, and then they'll be getting money from politicians to organize an anti-cult seminar. All this. So that is the exact situation. They are condemning. The cultists will not be calling for arrest. The cultists. Do you understand? You won't be calling for the arrest. You'll be saying, no, cultism is not good. We are condemning cultism. So that is exactly what these guys are doing too. Oh, we condemn the killing in Benue. Ask them to call for the arrest of the people. That simple thing. Call for the arrest. They won't. That's what we're saying. They won't, and they are the same people who describe it as perma-header. I told you the last time that anybody who describes these killings as perma-header crisis is a co-conspirator, or at best a traitor or a coward. What is the word here that you're calling the perma-header crisis? Who is fighting who? The people that killed in your town, at what point were they fighting you? So that is what we are saying. We are shielding away a lot of things in Nigeria, shielding away a lot of things. It's an agenda. And that agenda, the patrons are too mighty, too powerful. That is why. So we are just so carefree. We don't support ourselves. We don't. Fulanis, they line up their guides. They say, Otom, his leadership was very bad. That, he was not paying salary. He was only counting on the Fulani thing. They fight against Fulani. He always go under that to conceal his failure in other places. That's what they are saying. Do you understand? So who killed a Fulani guy who attacked him? He killed a Fulani guy in the cause of self-defense. Was he not arrested? Was he not condemned to death? That the Supreme Court of Nigeria even validated that judgment, that impunity, that sentenced him to death.
Yeah, that's you're talking about the guy. You're talking about the guy who killed the Fulani man who was about to attack him.
Yes. So I'm saying that when it is against them, right? There's always arrest. When anytime it is against them, the bombing some 3 years ago, 5 years ago in Doma, around Doma, that killed a lot of Fulanis. If you remember, there was a bombing that killed a lot of Fulanis. Do you know, they arrested hundreds of thieves before the army now how to say, no, it was them who carried out our operation and they are very sorry about this death. And they compensated, National State Government alone gave 300 million as compensation to the family of these Fulanis killed. The federal government also, it was under Buhari administration. The federal government also paid hundreds of millions. This same National State Government has not given one person out of 1 naira yet. 1 naira when the attackers they all came from Nasarawa State and returned back to them. And every time they're meeting, we know. Do you understand? Like I told you the last time, these people even have they do meet. Like even last week, no, this week, they met in a hotel in Latvia, hundreds of them.
After the attack on your village?
See, with hundreds of them, they met in a hotel. I will give you the number of the leader of that meeting. He owns the number that's the Toyota Camry, his number. The number of that Toyota Camry. The license number, yeah, the license plate. The license plate of that. Listen, you know? And this is the guy that is always driving in Benue going. He has a tinted glass, the Camry was tinted. So it's always traveling all around Benue. They had a meeting in Latvia. So these things, they are always
after the attack on your water.
Do you know that it has become normal now in many of these villages in Nasarawa to see Fulanis with their AK-47 passing on bike? It has become normal.
I don't understand. No, they calm down when they drop these things.
See, people are about more than 200 had a meeting.
Had a meeting.
Yes, exactly.
Ordinary Fulani people.
So listen, when they do have such meetings, it is usually after such kind of meetings that we usually get attacked.
Can you imagine? That.
It is usually after such kind of meetings that we usually get attacked.
Hey.
We do get attacks after such kind of meetings. Most of these things are in the open. Do you understand? It is only the act of attacking that is done in secret, that they come in the dark of night. Do you understand? But them parading their arms, moving everywhere, taking bikes and flying with their arms, they're always in the open.
And then you said it's not normal for AK-47 to people to be parading with AK-47 in Nasarawa State. It's normal.
See,
that's an
it's not normal for any other tribe, but for Fulani, it has come to be seen as the usual stick that Fulani do hold. Do you understand? You see them, even the ones that have been grazing in Benue, they enter now, they wrap up their AK-47 on their neck. Do you understand? It is normal. It has become normal. We've normalized it. We've normalized it right now as I speak now. You know, why are they not arrested? Like in all these attacks.
Are you saying that they are not arresting them because they just don't want to arrest them?
They took them to the divisional police headquarters in Bajimba, that's the headquarters of Guma local government. The following day, a directive came to the DPO to release these guys. They even sent vehicles to go and convey them from that station. Vehicles.
Somebody has also stated it here on this show that the Fulanis never last in detention, that whenever they detain them, that it don't take long and they release them back. I'll look for that voice.
No, I'm very surprised that you're a journalist. That's why, I'm an authority in this area. There's nothing about this case that I don't know. Because I've been involved in it very deep. See, 2 weeks before the attack.
In the same before the attack. So that means there was an attack before this one
Yes. See, there's always attacks every week. This one is just because the number is so huge. And then the world was concerned. The Pope reacted immediately. VGM went there, and then the whole thing went viral. If not, it could have been taken as the usual ones.
So that means it's been happening and nothing happens.
I say every time. That's why I told you that our people don't sleep in their homes. Why do you think that our people don't sleep in their homes? That I tell you that people sleep on the road media because of this attack. Every time. Do you understand? Why is it that people go to sleep in the church and the primary school? It's because of this attack every time.
They are not even staying in the church or the primary school.
Before this attack, they killed Ulam. That's the man's name, the retired army officer, with his son, and butchered his wife.
Hey.
Do you know that the following day, after that killing, in my ward headquarters, which is 10 kilometers from Yerota, that one is in the interior, you know, the vigilante, because those ones too, they are always on alert. Fulani have been killing them. So the vigilante there now arrested one Fulani guy who was riding a bike. The bike has splashes of blood all over.
Hey.
So when they arrested him, after good drilling and beating, vigilante in the bush, arresting a suspect, you know what they do?
Mm-hmm.
After they beat him and drilled him, the guy now confessed that they were the ones who carried out attack yesterday in Yerota. And that this bike, because we were asking him, because he mentioned that that's why there is blood here, the blood of butchery. Do you understand? Yeah. And that this bike was given to him by a soldier in Ude there. My ward headquarters, 10 kilometers from Yerota. There's also a detachment of soldiers there. So, the soldier's name is Suleiman. So they took the guy and the bike to where the soldiers were stationed. And then they caused rowdiness there. So the soldiers had to shoot some those shots in the air. I even shot 2 people there because they were protesting that Suleiman must be arrested and prosecuted. So they caused so much rowdiness to
for aiding the Fulani gangs.
Exactly. It was his bike. He released his bike for that
operation.
That means
they used his bike to conduct that operation.
And he was a Fulani soldier.
Going to give him back his bike.
Yes. He was a Fulani soldier.
An army officer's bike.
Yes.
To conduct an operation.
Yes, right. These are the things that we face every day in that community.
So Mr. You're saying, are you sure?
So listen, we need to tell ourselves the truth.
The man is telling you.
We need to tell ourselves the truth. Because we are just shying away from all these kind of things. Exactly. And that's why the whole thing is persisting. So Suleiman, right now, we're asking army authorities, where is Suleiman? Because they took him to Makodi and we've not heard about him again. They took him to Makodi. Suleiman in Ude, ward headquarters of Niev Council Ward of Guma, local government of Benue State. 2 weeks before the Yerota attacks of June 13 and 14. Respond to one of your, somebody who wrote, he says, so you guys know the people. Why are you not confronting them? You guys are cowards. We are not cowards. Let me tell you what happened. the military that is always sent to Yelwata, what they do is to disarm our guys. Over the years, look, during Susan's time, we had enough arms, and that is why it wasn't happening, because we know there are camps in Nasarawa State. So when they attack, what we do is that we go to those camps and destroy those camps.
What's the biggest story in finance today?
The story in finance that I think people wish they'd paid more attention.
Go to those camps and destroy those camps. We take the fight to them. So they felt the brunt of the TP. We are natural warriors as a TP, So, but what the soldiers have been doing in Gerota and other settlements in Buma, what they do is that when they come, they go to disarm the youth. Do you understand? Like when the Fulanis come, the youth repel them. After repelling them, the soldiers now begin to go after the boys that did that without going after the terrorists. So they disarmed us completely. So you cannot fight them with that. That's why we do run to go and hide behind the soldiers.
You said that the people were aware about this before it happened, right?
Yeah.
Mike, how did you guys get that information? How did you get the information that they were coming?
Like I told you, right? These things are always not.
Mr. Peter Obi, the president of Middle Belt Forum, also said the same thing on Arise Television, that he got information about it. So
Yes. So we got the information from somebody in that community. You know, many of the settlements. Yeah. Yes. If you have played it, this thing I've interpreted what you say in TV.
I will play it. I want you to, lay
okay.
it.
So the voice note I sent to you was sent to us 5 days before the Yerota attack.
Just 5 days before the Yerota attack.
Yes, it was on it was on 6th on Salah. Because in the voice note you could hear that, today is Salah. He said today is Salah. Okay. So these boys had a meeting here in Adudu. Adudu is a town in Obi local government, not far from Benue border. You understand? So they had a meeting. Yes, he called it this. He even called the name of the chief of that area. And so when they are investigating, these are the people that they have to go after. He say, hey, the chief is supporting this guy, the Fulani guys, and encouraging them to attack Benue because that the Benue people have also attacked them.
So, by this incident, if you go by the interpretation, they said that these people are coming from Nasarawa State. Am I correct, sir?
Yeah, they're coming from Nasarawa.
Okay. Let me quickly just play that. Let's take a listen.
So, Chamba West, Aiki and Yaram of Amongo in Nasarawa, Hadudu. So, Yaranam Kuroya, Mungwa, Sumem Nahama, Muira, Nomba Hiapa, Nomba Uzanga, Kakwalam Soman Nahaku, ne faccio share nemi via amba gwemba sana attack ba we achomba kalen yeme nyai sala na bakaren yeme torodudu ka wene tiomba zenda agwe in Benue na me babez na tiopin na sara so situma himbu hinenge bagwemba kalen we kaje kuma machine for karowa so mbayeme na attack himba we na hamza example any oruna foul himba ya yo the tomato or we saw you kapo will happen wejela msunechi.
Okay, I don't know if I need to play that again, just for reconfirmation. Sincere apologies. Let's just kindly take it again.
So, Chamba West, Aiki and Yaram Ufamongo in Nasarawa, Hadudu. So, Yaranam Kuroya, Mungwa, Sumem Nahama, Muira, Nomba Hiapa, Nomba Uzanga, Kakwalam Soman Nahaku, and ne faccio share nemi via amba gwemba sana attack in ban we achomba karen yeme nyai sala na bakaren yeme torodudu ka wene tiomba zenda agwe in Benue na me babez na tiukin na sara so situma himbu hinenge bagwemba karen we kaje kuma machine for karowa so mbayeme na attack in ban we na hamza example any oruna foul himbaya yo tomatembe or we saw you couple would happen Bejela.
To go by the interpretation, they said that these people are coming from Nasarawa State. Am I correct, sir?
Yeah, they're coming from Nasarawa. Okay.
And not
because
not
they
just that they're coming
gathered
from
there.
Nasarawa State. They are also saying that your people had attacked them before, and that's why they're coming to attack. So what could have happened within this period that would have led to this? And then I noticed that from
no, he didn't say attack, right? He said expel, that the chief have been expelling.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Because they don't want them
The
there.
village that they said they were going to attack is the village close to your water, not your water. So does it mean that they've directed them to your water instead?
Yes. So usually, right, in any of their meetings, you will just because attacking a village is sometimes discretionary and sometimes it changes because of how convenient it is that you attack the village. You understand? If you are going and get the report that there's so much security around, you divert to another location.
This is both a dashcam and an intelligent anti-theft system.
Can you just enter people's community and
so much
just
security around, you divert to another location.
So, only in Nigeria.
Ban is just 10 kilometers away from the water. So they will siphon the area of attack. So when they say ban, it's not that it's far. So it's the same area, sort of. So, and again, that day that they attacked the water, it was raining. So maybe some of the group, they wanted to reach Ngba. But because of the rain. Okay. Yeah, it rained. It rained that night.
You said this particular voice note was circulated 5 days before the water attack. What did you guys do about it? If what you said is correct.
What did you do?
What did your people do about it?
No, they gave the military in Yerwata now. They gave the military and listen, but listen, Precious, why are you talking as if you are not in Nigeria? They will just listen to this and say,
it's an interview, so I'd like to know.
Yes, you people, they will just say you people have started again, and then we pay so much like a cynical attitude towards this kind of thing.
Exactly.
If you go now, do you know that if you go to a police station now and say, I'm suspecting a robbery happening here, or this, the police will even look at you and laugh. You know that situation. You look at you first. Who tell you that one? How you take me? And all this, and then they will not move. They will even suggest that you pay for pen and paper for you to write what you brought, your statement of bringing accusation that something is happening somewhere. You know that. So these are the things we need to change. The values we need to change in the country. We need to be very professional. We are not that professional as security agents. We are not that prof. That is the truth. It's a notorious fact. So it's not an accusation. It's a fact
why do you think that the military and the entire security apparatus did not react to this?
What do you mean? Why?
Okay, now, do you know our military is understaffed? That's the truth. And then like also in Yerwata, I don't know the reason why they didn't react, but in Yerwata, do you know that even on the day of the attack, the soldiers were just 4 in number.
Yes, and then we heard that the base that was nearby did not barely responded to the incident, according to the sources.
Makodi is 25 minutes drive, 4 hours operation. There's no reaction from Makodi. What do you want me to say? I don't know why it happened down. So it's because of the lackadaisical attitude we take towards all this kind of things. Because Yerwata is 25 minutes drive, 25 minutes on a smooth route, federal highway with no single pothole anywhere on that route. 25 minutes drive on.
Pothole no day. Then why Oga Omoye the road?
No, because it's a new route. The road that Buhari just did now in the last 2 years ago.
Oga Omoye have directed that the road should be worked on because that's why the president.
No, the road that will be worked on is that place that there was flood. It's not in Yerwata.
Okay.
The portion that was, yes, because the contractors, right? It's in Akalepu. Anybody in Nasarawa or Benue who's listening to me know where I'm saying. That place is called Akalepu. Before Agaragu. That's when you leave Kadorku. You reach Akalepu before Agaragu. So there's a slope, then there's a stream at the end of that slope. So that stream, when it rained heavily, it has been recurring over the years. So these contractors did not work on that thing very well. So these guys are terrorists from outside. Yes, we know that a couple of them are from outside, but of course, the whole thing is led by the ones inside. They only invited their kinsmen to join them. And you could see that the politicians have been finding the embers of this carnage because.
Pay attention if you want free groceries for the rest of the year. There is a new benefit for American seniors called a health spending card. It is part of the new Medicare benefit that just came out last week.
carnage because the other time, about 2-3 years ago, Bala Mohammed, the governor of Bauchi, said Fulani are global citizens, and so they are free to settle anywhere. Anywhere. That's all Fulanis does. Even those from Guinea, from this, and they are free to settle in Nigeria because they are global citizens. So these are the kind of comments from our politicians. That's the political aspect. From our politicians that always try to increase the tempo of this carnage.
Do you think there's a possibility of that, the fact that that may be what they feed the rest of the Fulani population? And perhaps that's
because the Fulanis in Nigeria, they always make you look as if, we own this country, so we are free to come. We are free to come. The Fulani, let me tell you the truth. The Fulani in Nigeria looks at you as stranger more than his other Fulani from Mali, from Senegal, from Guinea, from Niger. You understand? As a nation, I should relate.
Exactly, Michael. Maybe they go settle for Saudi Arabia. I don't understand.
Niger, more of a brother than
you. Global citizen. Now Nigeria is good for them to be global.
So they invite these guys. The guys are all about us. You go to that Makodi. Some of the white men, they cannot even speak Hausa very clear. So you know that evidently those are the guys that are coming from Niger and all those things. They always give the reason of, there's desert encroachment in the north. There's desert encroachment. Climate change has led to desert, to desertification. Sort of, so they are moving southwards to getting water, getting lush vegetation. And in Benue, I said, we don't have a problem with that. But we have a procedure by which you carry out your business. Simple sense. Every business has modalities by which you carry it out. Your business is cattle rearing. We are saying, come, get a land. There's land available. You can sell a land to you. The land belongs to the people of Benue State. So I have a very big land in my village. Come, I can even give it to you. You can come and rent it or lease it for like 5 years, 10 years. Build your ranch. So what is the problem in that? Do you understand? What is the problem in that, for goodness sake? Build your ranch. These guys are saying, no. So that is where the takeover is. Because we didn't do anything bad. That is where the takeover is. And let me tell you, right now, as we speak, the land grabbing we're talking is just not mere rhetoric. It's really happening right now. Because right now, as we're talking, there are many tea villages in my council ward, in my local government, that tea people fled and left. Fulanis are occupying that. Even in my maternal village, the village of my mom, my grandfather's flat, my late uncle, we built a flat in the village. Right now, like these Fulanis are the people in the house.
And you people cannot go there now.
Hello, my name is Valentina V, and welcome to the Adobe Premiere Pro workshop. For the next 3 or so.
Right now, like these Fulanis are the people in the house.
And you people cannot go there now.
How now?
How now? If you go, what's it happen?
Because
what kind of question is that?
Now, so they will take you before you reach there. Do you understand? Right now, as you speak, I say in my maternal
security agencies don't know these things you're saying. Or why do you think the security agency maybe
listen, General Musa said it now. He said they are afraid of going there for fear of attack. He said it in the interview. He said some of these other places,
so
the lands are
they not chase these people away, and so that the original occupants of the land can come back. I don't understand what is going on. General Musa is not a Fulani man. So what is happening? What's going on?
Exactly. So because why would Nigerians be IDP in their own countries? Exactly. In their own country, rather.
They have housing, but they cannot return to their houses. They cannot. Because it's been occupied by someone else.
Because we don't have a government. What we have are people in power. But we don't have a government. The primary responsibility of government is security and welfare of the people. That is the primary responsibility. Any of that, like building of bridges, building of roads, coastal road, and it's a secondary responsibility. The primary is the security. And that is why the state exists in the first place. The concept of state is that I will relegate my rights to defend myself to you, government, so that you look after me to make sure nothing happens to me. If not, we could be in anarchy. Everybody's doing self-defense, and then there will already be government. Do you understand? I will get arms to be defending myself. There will be anarchy. That is why there is a concept of state. that we all relegated our rights to government so that they will defend us. So there is no government. That is why this is happening. There's only people in power. These are two different things.
Yes.
So are you saying that when you look at things right now, the people of Benue State, Plateau State, perhaps are helpless? I say it's not just nothing you can do about this. Because you said that if you try to get arms to defend yourselves, the military disarms your guys. That's what you're saying. That the military
They find where to hide
and
They
you're helpless
find
because
where
you're
to
just at
hide
the mercy
them.
of whatever happens.
Exactly. We're helpless. We're helpless. And not just Benue State, Plateau, Southern Kaduna, the North Fulanis in Nasarawa State. You understand? Because even in Nasarawa State, the attack goes on, especially against my own people, against the T people of Nasarawa State.
Nasarawa State.
Yeah, it goes on and on and on. In Nasarawa State there. Do you understand? I think that was what led to the problem between Igons and Fulani. If you learn of this Ombati, that problem of Ombati, one man that they went to arrest and his people were able, his militia were able to kill about more than 50 security agents. Some years ago in Nasarawa State, you should know the story, Ombati. It's an Igon man. Yeah, because of this Fulani issue with Igons in Nasarawa State. So I think the people in power need to explain to us. Because you see this thing called government. You see the room I am in. Government is like, when you're in government, like let's say federal government, the whole country becomes like a room. A rat that passes through this room, you see it. Because intelligence is everywhere. You have security agents everywhere. They get this intelligence. You don't use intelligence. Then is it not the same Nigeria that even Dubai sent to us the name of terrorist sponsors? Did you do anything with it?
Bam.
Other countries be helping us. Other countries be helping us.
I was going to ask you that a lot of people will be worried that why are you speaking out like this? Why are you profiling?
Exactly, Michael. Absolutely. Absolutely.
And why are you profiling these people?
I'm not
They're
profiling
using
them.
the style to come. I want to be president. Never
Romans
for every
8:28
time.
reminds us that God works for the good of those who
should
love
go and
him.
walk
You may be
behind
feeling
the
stuck
scenes.
or uncertain.
Never
As my
for
friends.
them.
Hundreds. You know, I grew up being close to Fulanis that team because I was born and raised in Jos. Through my time in the law school, I was the president of my set in the law school. I know the population of law school. I was the president of the 2012-2013 set of the Nigerian Law School, headquarters in Buhari, you know, and virtually all the Fulanis supported me. But there comes a time, like, who say, you tell the truth, you die. You don't tell the truth, you die.
Exactly.
That is just the truth of the matter. So there comes a time, we need to tell ourselves the truth. Why are we not living this? Okay. People say ethnic profiling. What is ethnic profiling there? When Fulanis are the ones who give you excuses why they conducted that. Is it not Mayati Allah who come out every time to explain why that thing happened? Then the last time I told you, Precious, I said go to TikTok. I'm not saying your brother.
There are lots of people, though. See, there are also lots of Fulanis under that post we made initially that are accusing your people of killing them. That's why they attacked your people. In fact, they're even threatening that more attacks will come up in Benue.
Where did you kill their
people? But I thought to leave them.
Where did we kill their people?
Exactly.
They killed our people. They killed us. We show the bodies, right?
Where are their own bodies?
That they killed. That our people killed.
Where are they?
So they always, like the people, they always take responsibility. So why would you not call them by their names? So if they want us to call these terrorists that be killed by another name, then let the terrorists bear a name that like Lakurawa, Boko Haram. When they bear that name, then let the Fulanis help us to fight them.
Bam!
So that we say Nigeria is fighting this terrorism.
Exactly.
Do you understand? But they cannot give that because they are the ones. If it is still people killing people like this en masse in Kano, that large number, T people because of farm, that T people want land for farm, and they kill. Do you know they will call us by our name? They will say T militia.
Exactly.
So at that point, it will be ethnic profiling. Even me, I won't say it's ethnic profiling because it's true. T militia. Do you understand? Do you know they will call us by our names? If it was T people killing people like this in Jigawa, in Kano, in Sokoto, because they need land for farming, they will call us by our name. They'll say T militia. ESN, is it ethnic profiling? Eastern Security Network, Eastern. So are all Eastern people terrorists? They are not terrorists, but that is the fact that this is who is carrying out Eastern. Do you understand? Eastern Security Network. So that is why the Fulani militia. It's not any profiling. It's a statement of fact.
Bam.
Tell the Fulani nation, if they don't want this, if they don't want us calling, why have they never called a meeting of the Fulani nation to say, look guys, you guys are making Nigerians stigmatize us. Stop this thing. They would never call that kind of meeting. Have you ever seen them call the meeting?
For yeah.
If it was Fulani thief that this is happening to now, so thief will call the meeting. That's the umbrella body of thief people. They will call and say, look at what is happening. People are stigmatizing us. People are giving us bad names. Stop this thing. The Fulani as a nation has never called a meeting of their people to say, look, you guys have done too much in this place. We want you to stop. You guys are our bad eggs. And so we're going to expose you. Have they ever said something like that? This is a normal thing that other people will say. We are going to expose the bad eggs in our midst. But because it got the validation of almost everybody there. Yeah, those people, those infidels, we're going to deal with them. So everybody, where did we kill Fulanis?
Hi, Mr. Wonderful Hero. When I choose to invest in a company, it's because I see the potential for growth.
Those people, those infidels, we're going to deal with them. So everybody, where did we kill Fulanis? Where? And okay, he say I'm Jukun. He's saying he's Jukun. Because the Jukun have been teaming up with the Fulanis against Chief.
Can you imagine?
Especially,
oh wow,
exactly.
Really?
Especially the Jukuns that are not Christians. Do you understand? They take it as part of the jihad.
Hey.
So they've been teaming up against, even them, they have a problem with the team, basically themselves, because the part of Taraba where they are chief indigenous of that place too. So they've tried to flush them out. So they've had that perennial problem against the chief people. So if it's coming from Jukuman, I understand. I have a lot of Jukun friends who are very good friends, but if some of their bad eggs could be, talking like that, it's part of it we've understand these things been happening over the years. So, but when they are saying, okay, we attack Fulanis, like the water stuff, for instance, and they mention anywhere where any Fulani guy was killed, they can't mention. Because if he was killed, they will display, they will say, look at the number of our people that they killed. The Fulani people have been paying him, he has been ransacking communities for them. So there was one that he wanted to go and carry out in Taraba that he was charging them 1 billion naira. So, but they say they will pay him 300 million. So at the end of the day, he did not receive that money because
1 billion naira.
To go and keep people, that's this kind like this Yerwata thing. Do you understand? Like this Yerwata thing to rent his army, to rent his own militia. They just go, they don't care who is there. That's how life is so cheap. How many Boko Haram people have come out and you are even absorbing them into the army? So you see, the conspiracy theory is so thick over and over and over again. Because Boko Haram guys have come out in their thousands. You did not just give them amnesty, you absorb them.
Exactly. They're selling out your secrets now.
Forces.
Exactly.
But Ghana surrendered and then you intercepted him on the way and took him because he's a thief warrior.
My goodness. My people now here, oh. Like Michael, you just said it all. Oh. This is why for me, the all these calls, all these when I hear people say, "Oh, Atiku, El-Rufai," I'm not interested. Once you allow these people in, that's it. They go just Fulanize everywhere. No. The one way they don't reach. May they pack go one side. We are not interested. You see, we are not interested. Now they are trying what APC is trying to now do. APC supporters, this is what they are now saying. That Peter Obi is working with Fulani to unseat Tinubu. Hey God, they want twist am. I say lie. This one wanna bring her on. Which Fulani? I be now go make contract with Fulani people. Tinubu and Fulani people now they first bring Buhari. After that, they team up with El-Rufai and the rest of them to enter inside. Lie. Now the agreement when they sign be that Tinubu go turn in deaf ear. He go put pins for ear when things they happen for Benue, for Middle Belt. Because the Fulani people want to continue. Make Tinubu both come and talk now. They not born Tinubu way. Fulani people go come for her. People wey don't send direct threat to his wife, direct threat to him himself. He not get the balls to talk. person don put himself for video call out Tinubu Fulani man. Tinubu no see wetin if he do. He don call out him wife, even tell am say make he kpai him wife, say him wife na him fit there. They not born Tinubu where to go find the Fulani. They not born am. Coward. My people, I go leave am here for now. I go see you later. Michael One, thank you very much. Oh, Michael, oh, thank you everyone that was able to join. I'll talk to you. I'll see you guys on my next live. Enjoy your day. Bye.